Hello, I'm Tripwire, and welcome back to my slow play of Dark Souls Remastered. Thank you so much for being here. In this episode, as I mentioned before, we are heading back to the Undead Asylum, now that we have a plus 5 claymore, and we got that key from the roof. Come back to this lift from the shrine. Point your camera up so you know when to jump off, and just hop on over here. And then come to the edge and roll. And now we're going to take a little trip back to where it all began. And again, this isn't something you have to do right away. You know, you pretty much get to choose when you want to do what, except for things that are required for story progression or gated until you make progress. But I highly recommend coming here and getting a specific item before going to Blighttown. Blighttown is the location, as the Crestfallen Warrior mentioned, where the second Bell of Awakening is. So if we want to progress the story, we have to go to Blighttown and ring that bell. Now, Blighttown is a nightmare for new players, and it's a swamp. And remember, if you're in water or sludge from a swamp, your movement's going to be restricted. And it also poisons you. So what we're going to get is a ring called the Rusted Iron Ring that makes it so that it no longer restricts your movement in water and poison slime or whatever. So it'll make Blighttown much more bearable. On top of that, there's a couple different changes to the Asylum when you come back, and some cool stuff that is also worth getting. So it's not just that. And also remember that big old demon we could see in that very first hallway in the tutorial? We get to fight him, you know, if you want to. You really should. Not necessarily right now, but you should at some point. So as you can see, it's already different because we got 4 torch hollows waiting for us. And then be careful. The messages on the ground are the same. Be careful. Do not walk straight across this. The floor will give out and you will fall into the boss chamber. Go around, and we'll deal with it when we're ready. So we got these enemies here. There's a couple regular old hollows, deal with them. Come on through and rest at the old bonfire, the very first one we lit up. What I like to do is, before we do anything else, go back up this side path, and we're going to encounter an old friend. Our buddy Oscar, remember, he was like, I would hate to harm you after I've lost my sanity. Well, unfortunately, he's lost his sanity, and now he's hollow, and he's hostile. What I like to do is do this. He gets smushed by the ball. Doesn't do much damage, but it's funny. So he fat rolls. He's not super difficult. If you're not used to fighting humanoid NPCs like this, it's definitely hard, but you'll get used to it pretty quick. He's not that bad, especially since we have upgraded our weapon. Also, you'll notice I don't have an option to rest at the bonfire, and the flames kind of die down because the enemy's here. Anytime you're in danger, you can't just rest at the bonfire to get out of it. You have to kill the enemies or lure them away or something. So, he's dead. Not so bad. He drops this cool weapon, or not weapon, item. His crest shield. Oh yeah, we also got the gargoyle tail axe. This is what we get from cutting the gargoyle's tail. I didn't really address it. It's a cool looking weapon, but so yeah, it's actually got 14 requirement in both stats. Better scaling with dex. It's a cool looking weapon, but it's very heavy. Well, I guess not very heavy, but it's definitely heavy. You can try it out if you want to. But what we got from him was the crest shield that Oscar was wielding. 55 stability, so a little bit worse than the Knight Shield. Still blocks 100% of physical, but look at this. 30, 40, 32 magic protection, 55 magic protection. This blocks 80% of a magic attack, so if you're having trouble with a magic using enemy, the crest shield is, I think, the best magic defense shield in the game. That's pretty cool, and it blocks 100% of physical attacks, so if you want to roll around with that, it's a good choice. So now we're going to go back to where it all started. This is the ladder that leads back down toward our jail cell that we woke up in. So, remember we've fought 2 Black Knights so far. The Undead Asylum, when you return to it, has 2 more to offer you. Got one at the end of the hallway, guarding our cell, which is interesting, right? And we can see an item beyond him. Also, if you want, you can look at the boss we're going to fight. That is the Stray Demon. Pretty much looks the same as the Asylum demon, but he is stronger and he has got some twists to him. But there's an item in our cell that wasn't there before, and we want it. So be careful. If you're not ready to fight these guys, you don't have to. This is optional. We do not do much damage to this boy. That thrust attack has pretty good range. I like to dodge out of it. That time I knew I was going to be safe, so... He only did 7 damage there because he blocked... Oh, I didn't dodge in time. It's very easy to die. Look how much health that one attack took off. It's very easy to die to these guys if you don't have really high physical defense armor. They're also very quick. They will run after you. So he's down there in the water. Oh no, now I'm down here in the water. That's not ideal. So his pathing is going to make it so he'll try to attack me, but if he can't reach me, he's going to have to come around. I was just trying to take the opportunity to get a couple hits on him. So these Black Knights are difficult to deal with because you have to fight them in these narrow hallways, and it's hard to circle strafe around them and get backstabs. Another thing you can do is you can parry them. But parrying is quite risky. It's not easy to learn parry timings as a new player, especially when you're learning it on an enemy such as a Black Knight, who is going to kill you in a couple hits if you fuck it up. Ow. I would say learn your parry timing on... Wow, okay. Weak enemies, not Black Knights. So like even... I'm a seasoned player at this point, but even I'm struggling, you know? Like these... There's no shame in struggling with anything in this game. There's no shame in dying in these games. Like, this game is meant to kill you, you know? That's how it was made. Remember, enemies stagger if you drop on them. So I'm going to press B, and then run away. We can get a better fight. Oh, I did not mean to fall in here. That's bad. I'm just going to dodge out of that before he gets over here. Okay. So the hallway, as not ideal as it is better than that little fucking cubby over there. I'm not even going to try parrying him. I did not mean to hit that. I did not mean to hit that button. I itched my face and then I returned my hand to my controller too quickly. And accidentally hit the trigger. Oh shit, that was a 4-hit combo. I didn't know you could do that. Or maybe I did and I forgot, but either way, oops. So if he doesn't do a follow-up attack, the Black Knights will have like this fancy swing where they move their arm back into position. He didn't do it there. A lot of the attacks, they do it like that. See, he did this fancy-ass swing to go back to his neutral stance, and that's the opportunity you have to try to punish them. Red Titanite chunk, and we can grab this item. Peculiar doll. Interesting item. A strange doll in strange dress. There once was an abomination who had no place in this world. She clutched this doll tightly and eventually was drawn into a cold and lonely painted world. That's the hint for where this item is useful. We're not going to come across it for quite a while. The interconnectivity of certain items and their interactions in this game is pretty crazy sometimes. Like just knowing that the ring that's useful in Blighttown is found back here in the Asylum, or that this doll will help us with an optional area like many hours from now. It's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and level up with our souls. I think I'm going strength heavy on this build. I think that'll be fun. Remember, these hollows around the corner will respawn because we rested the bonfire. And running attack you. And you. Remember, don't walk back that way. You'll fall into the boss room. And when the floor crumbles... Whoa, that was a little bit of lag. So now I'm going to go back down this side path. The rest of this bonfire. And we're going to fight our second Black Knight. This one appears to be guarding nothing, but... we're going to kill him anyway. He did a little leap backwards. Just one attack there. Alright. Lunge. See, I'm punishing it because he's either doing an attack I know where it's not going to hit me like that, and then I move forward and hit him once, or he's doing that animation where he does a little fancy flourish where he puts the sword back to his right side, and that's when I know I can get one hit in. This can turn into a hit combo though, so there's 3 and 4. Shit. See, it looked like he was going to put his sword away, but he didn't. Instead he hit me a 4th time, so that was my bad. Thrust. So we can make him stagger, yep. Oh, he blocked that 3rd hit, that's fine. That was going to hit me, so I had to dodge out of it. Again, I'm moving into not ideal territory here. Whoops. You can get hit through the corners of doorways and walls a lot in this game. Okay, that I don't think should have hit me, but it did, so what are we going to do? Let's bring him up here, why not? I don't think I've ever brought him all the way up here. Careful though, you don't dodge into the center there, you will get fucked up. Probably not wise to deal with these guys at the same time. But we already are, so... Ow. Alright, punish, and you're dead. Cool, we got his sword. I was hoping we would get one of the items. So, they have rare drops of their equipment. And as you can see, it's very strong. The Black Knight weaponry is extremely strong. Claymore plus 5 is still significantly weaker than the Black Knight sword base. So, the Claymore can be upgraded further because the Black Knight sword is a special weapon, so it's going to require Twinkling Titanite, and it stops at plus 5. However, it's very, very strong. We cannot wield it. 20 strength, 18 dex. Unable to wield this weapon effectively with present stats, which means even if we two-hand it, we're not going to be able to use it properly. So, the Black Knight equipment is amazing. If you get any, I recommend getting the stats for them and giving it a try. It's great. And, the Black Knight Halberd is the best of the best. Speedruns of this game used to rely on getting that drop to start things off because of how strong it is. So past where that Black Knight was, remember this is where we started the game, you know, we passed that first hollow that was shooting a bow at us, and now we're back here overlooking the courtyard. Oscar was here, Ball was here, so we could have gotten up here from that side door, but we want to go up here, just like we did to start the game. This gate is open from before. That's where we got our Pyromancer's Flame. All these enemies here are the same so far in this area. Cheeky little kill. In this room there's one additional enemy, one on each side instead of only one on the right. That didn't quite kill him because he is obviously going to be stronger than when we were here before. Okay, I was switching out my Pyromancer's Flame and wasn't ready for that attack, but you know. Also, as you noticed, that wasn't this attack, which sucks. If you're one-handing the Claymore, keep in mind if you're going to one-hand it, you need to have the full requirements for it. It's a thrust attack, which is nice, so if you want to vary up your moveset. And the key we found on the roof opens this gate that we couldn't open before. The only thing this leads to is that ring I was talking about. There it is. That's all we came here for, so now all we've got to do is kill the boss, and that'll do it for the Undead Asylum. So the Rusted Iron Ring. Used to shackle the guilty, it is terribly rusted and faintly stained with blood. Those who find this strange ring to their liking will be pleased to find it easier to gain footing on poor ground, and then explicitly, such as swamps. So it even tells you straight up, this is useful in the swamp. We are 16 souls from a level up. We're not going to just let that slide. No. Much better. Let's go. Strength. Alright, so the rest of the bonfire, keep in mind, that means this hollow is alive. This hollow is alive. And now it is time for us to confront the boss. So here's how you do this. You're going to walk onto the ground over here, and it's going to give way. Get away! Actually, there's a little dev warning there. That's nice. You're going to fall into the chamber with the boss, and you're going to take fall damage, so immediately you're going to be disadvantaged. So what I like to do is, as soon as I hit the ground, I dodge roll, because if you dodge roll, it cancels the animation of your character steadying themselves after they fall from a great height. So you can dodge roll out of that and recover more quickly, and then immediately heal, and then rush over to the boss, because you don't want to be too far from it. So here's what you do. Roll away, heal, run toward the boss. So this guy is like the Asylum demon with a couple of different wrinkles. And the differences are this big old Nova attack. If you see him doing that, get away. You don't want to be caught in that exploding a red force field there. And then the other difference is that when he does certain melee swings, a Nova will explode from where he hits. That'll damage you less than the big one. So like that. So you want to be careful. Obviously, you don't want to be where his weapon hits anyway, but staying behind this boss is a good policy. He has a lot of health. So he's charging up a Nova, run away. Run back, get hit in. He's doing it again, run away. So this boss has a big health pool, and you're not going to be doing a ton of damage probably, especially as a new player. If you haven't upgraded enough, you know, like, this guy's a patience test once you know what to do. So he's charging up his Nova again. That's the big boy Nova right there. Telegraphs it for a while, you just got to get out of the range of it. It will hurt a lot. And you can't just block it with a shield, it does magic damage, you know? So he's doing it again. He's also got an attack just like the Asylum Demon, where he flies up in the air a little bit and then slams his butt down. Hasn't done that yet. You can also see over there the exit. If you get lost after you fight him, the exit is indicated by the fact that it's blocked by fog during the fight. So if he just keeps doing this attack, I mean, we're in pretty good shape. There's the fly up. So same thing, don't get smushed by it. Give it a moment before you run in, because there's a little bit of a lingering hitbox with the impact, little shockwave. And then just to get back around behind him, it's like the safest place to be. So you got to look at a big nasty demon butt for most of this fight, but you'll be rewarded handsomely, I promise. Let's go ahead and switch to the fireball. Wow. Oh, actually that hit. It did pitiful damage though. Never mind, let's not switch to the fireball. So see, I knew that was going to cause a Nova, so I dodged away from it. Pyromancies don't have a stat to go with them, like sorceries and miracles. Remember I told you that intellect and faith are connected to those two things. Pyromancies are connected to the Pyromancer's flame itself as the item. So once you gain access to the correct NPC, you can actually upgrade the Pyromancer's flame directly, and that'll change how much damage you can output with pyromancies. But I've had no opportunity to increase how much damage that fireball does so far. And this guy just doesn't take much damage from it, so we're just gonna use our sword. Nova again. As you can see, once you've learned this guy's moves, he's not hard. You just have to stay in the correct position and be ready for what he's gonna do. Punish, but don't get greedy. Run behind. He flies again. You don't want to be at a great distance from this guy, because that weapon has a lot of range, and it's very damaging to get hit by the end of it, obviously, so that's why you want to rush him right when you fall in here and you heal. You want to stay close so that he only uses certain attacks and doesn't bring down the hammer, so to speak. See, he will leap back like that. Luckily, he didn't follow up with anything else but a Nova. There's a demon with the same look and basic move set later in the game that does that leap backward much more often, and he will punish the fuck out of you with it. It's really annoying. Called the Fire Sage Demon. That's much later in the game, though. The tail is a nice little way to hit him from behind without having to get too close after that Nova. So he's going to fly up. Hit the foot. Oh, I missed. And then go around. Alright, we're going to run this way because we don't want to get back into the corner. Just because of the Nova attacks. Does it again. I believe this guy rewards you with 20k souls on New Game. See, he'll try try to punish you by leaping backward and then doing the melee swing that causes a Nova afterwards, so be prepared for the leap and then just close the gap between you and him as quickly as you can. Nice. Does fly. Hit them toes. Run around. Nova. So, pretty basic moveset. There's not a lot to it. Again, it's just a matter of don't get greedy. Rinse and repeat what you know, and whittle them down. Boom. Now that item is very important. So we got our humanity and our homeward bone from the kill. 20,000 souls, and this is a Titanite slab. You don't get to access another Titanite slab for quite a while in this game, unless you get lucky with Crystal Lizard drops. A Titanite slab is the final upgrade material required to upgrade most items. So if I wanted to take my Claymore to the highest tier possible, the final upgrade, which would be from plus 14 to plus 15, requires the slab. That's the only source of it for a while, so very important to get that. Plus, I mean, 20k souls, can't say no to that, right? We're going to use those to level up some more. Let's get a couple more in strength, endurance, vitality. We'll put one more in dex. Call that good for now. So now we're going to get out of here. We've done all there is to do in the Asylum, and there's no reason to come back a third time. Be careful of torch hollows. Fire damage can be very dangerous. Got some nice floating rock there. But fire damage can be very dangerous. Torch hollows can kind of catch you off guard with their flailing. So be careful on your way in, like that. Look at that. If that combo hits you, it's gonna chunk your health pretty hard. Be careful on the way back in, ow, and the way back out of here. Later, nerds. Also, I wonder if I can show off Mr. Snuggly. Let's see. You'll notice off to the right here is a little tiny bird nest. Well, I guess not tiny, it's pretty big. Alright, Snuggly is not talking to us today. I wonder if this still works even if he doesn't say anything. So, right here there's an NPC that when you walk up sometimes will talk to you, and he'll say, give me warm, give me soft. And basically this acts as like a little NPC trade system, like a bargain. And remember I said that we picked up rubbish and it says it has no value, but there is a value for it? Let's see if this works. If you drop the rubbish and then quit out, Snuggly is supposed to exchange it for a better item. Let's see if he's done us the honor. He did, and now he's talking to us.
You give me warm, give me soft.
If you're like me, you probably hate his voice. And we got a Titanite chunk. So we basically traded rubbish that had no other value for a definitely very valuable and useful upgrade material. It goes Titanite shard, large Titanite shard, Titanite chunk, and then the ultimate upgrade, the final upgrade is the slab. So pretty good. Thanks Snuggly. I wasn't going to use that for anything else, so glad there was some use. So there's a whole bunch of different items you can trade with him. Before you go wasting your items, I'd say look up what the trades you can make, because it's not just any item you can give to him. Alright, now we're back at Firelink, and we are pretty well prepared to take on the infamous Blighttown. Blighttown is a bitch of an area, but I'm going to show you how to make it less of a bitch. Step 1, we've already done. Rusted Iron Ring equipped. Perfect. We don't need that. The Pyromancy Flame I'm not going to bother with right now. Later on in the series, I'll show you how to access the NPC that lets you upgrade the Pyromancer's Flame. We're not going to use it for right now. The boss of Blighttown is resistant to fire anyway, so there's no point at the moment. But well, I'll at least show you before we wrap up. I'll show you how to get to Blighttown, and this requires that you have the Master Key. Oh shit, no, first we have to do this. So you come back to Firelink Shrine after dealing with the Undead Parish and all that, and this is where Lautrec ends up after you've freed him. So he's just chilling right here, and the place he decides to hunker down is very telling. He's sitting right across from the Bonfire Keeper. And now we know the Bonfire Keeper is very important. The Bonfire Keeper gives us bonus Estus. She allows us to upgrade our Estus Flask. But what you might not know is that the Bonfire Keeper needs to be present for the bonfire to even be active at all. And Lautrec is a bad guy. And if you allow his questline to progress without dealing with him, he will kill her. You will find an item in her spot, and later on you'll have to invade Lautrec and kill him and get it back. And until you do, you can't use this bonfire anymore. So he's an asshole. We don't want him to live. You might struggle to kill him if you're new to the game, but here's the best way. Remember I told you that you can kick to break somebody's guard? It also pushes them back. So, forward R1 is kick. I didn't do it very well there, but there you go. Forward R1 is kick, and he has chosen a pretty precarious spot to relax. So, 2 kicks. You don't even have to fight him. Gravity does the job for you. We get 1,000 souls. Now, we still get our reward. Don't worry. You just got to quit out and reload. So, reload the game, and his items will be on the ground. There we are. 5 humanity, and a very, very important item for a new player. You don't want to miss this. The Ring of Favor and Protection. This will be probably one of the most important rings you'll pick up in your entire playthrough. We don't need the stupid blue Tearstone ring anymore. We want the Ring of Favor and Protection, the FAP ring. Boosts HP, stamina, and your equip load burden capabilities, but it breaks when removed, so you can only equip this once. If you take it off, you're going to lose it. So if you're a new player, you're probably going to want to keep it equipped all game anyway. It's really useful. But it's going to boost all those things. So you can see now we have all that extra HP, we've got extra stamina, and our equip burden is better, so we can wear heavier armor and still, you know, dodge roll quickly. And we now have the little yellow arrow showing that we're getting a buff from it. So let's rest and regain that additional HP. Very nice. The Ring of Favor and Protection is wonderful. We are going to wear that all game, because if we take it off, it breaks. So anyway, come down here, again, provided you have the master key. We're going to take this elevator down back into Spooky Town where we were before. If it's not here, you can just pull this lever. If you don't have the master key, you're going to have to deal with Upper Blight Town, which is also a nightmare. I wouldn't recommend. Like I said, take the master key, use the shortcuts. There's no shame in it. So, head back on down. This will gain us easy access into Blight Town. I'm not going to go into Blight Town proper yet, but you have to come down here. Remember, this is where we came to grab our first Firekeeper soul from Spooky Ghost Town. But instead of heading over to Spooky Ghost Town, take a right and through this archway, and you're going to come to a door that you need the master key to open. Right around the corner is an item. And now we're in the Valley of Drakes, so obviously be careful. You can fall to your death very easily in this chasm. And Blight Town is that way. There's more stuff that way that we're not going to mess with right now. So this is the back entrance into Blight Town. It'll save you a lot of headache. Just do it. So, next episode, we're heading on in here. Ew, it's all green now. So I will see you then for some Blight Town action. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.